All right, y'all. Today we're going to take a look at this boudoir photography business. Going to see for its local search and for its city search if it's got BSS, yes or no. We're back here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that in the pin video, home video, somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our FSIC in white here. Highest intent people on the left. It's people using social search, Google searching for boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. And we focus on them with the videos we make here about BSS, closest to the money, highest conversion rate. And way over on the right is the lowest intent people. They ain't searching for boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. And most of them don't even know what the heck boudoir is. But we reach them through interruption ads, through Facebook, Instagram. Talk about these things over on our, talk about BLCS over on our sister channel, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. And currently we only work with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS, it's when a boudoir it's boudoir search sameness. So it's when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. And when this occurs, 0 slots, trash, our business will be dying pretty fast. 0 slots page 1 means we're only on page 2 or deeper, and we already know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So from page 2, 80% of approximately 80% of searches are page 1 and done searches. So that means if we're on page 2 or deeper, we're invisible to approximately 80% of the market, aka the bulk of the market, bulk of the buyers. Once on Google, no bueno either, because we're looking the same as everyone else. There's 10 organic slots page 1 on Google. So if it's us, 10 boudoir photographers total, we're one of them. 9 other peeps got 1 link on Google, and guess what? Guess what the buyers are doing? Well, guess what approximately 80% of boudoir buyers are doing? They're just clicking every link down page 1, open everyone's website, filling out everyone's contact form, getting price quotes, price shop and price compare, and driving margins to 0, negotiating, all that stuff. Never even hitting page 2. So, we're kind of constrained there with the number of competitors we'll actually be compared against. And 0, 1 slots on page 1 of Google is actually not normal. It's a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. So yes, it's common. Yes, it's accepted. But to have such few slots page 1 on Google, not normal. It means something's seriously broken. Those 2 deeper root causes are, number 1, market saturation. Yeah, basically everyone knows this. This is when more and more boudoir photographers enter the marketplace over time. And yeah, it's because peeps get new gear, new iPhone, new camera over time. They throw up their Google My Business profile, and when they do that, they're also throwing up a website saying they offer boudoir, competing to now rank on page 1 Google search. They're posting in mom groups saying they now offer boudoir, and on and on. So more sellers for the same number of buyers makes it harder for every single seller, aka every boudoir photographer. Now, this happened a big way during COVID. A lot of people lost their jobs, but everyone had to still, earn money. So people actually still, thrust in the market to become a boudoir photographer. Now, number 2, the false belief of page 1 equality. This is a big one. This one, boudoir photographers kind of automatically believe that, each and every boudoir photographer gets at least 0, 1 slots page 1 on Google. And as a result, maybe they're slot 9 on page 1. Then some market saturation happened, then there's slot 1 on page 2. Like, some other peeps entered the market, their website's ranked above me. That's fine. But let's, hopefully they delete their websites and Google stops indexing them so then I can come back onto page 1. But no, this, passive, hopefully it happens for me. No, 100% incorrect. I know for a fact that Google will actually give us as many page 1 slots on Google as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And I know that because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search in only 10 days with this new methodology we developed. Finally, a boudoir photographer with BSS is a disappearing boudoir photographer. So if we got 0 slots on page 1, we're invisible to approximately 20% of peeps who view page 2 and deeper. Yep, we're definitely disappearing. If we got 1 slot on page 1, we're basically invisible, same as everyone else. Being compared against everyone else, margins collapsing, and going to happen more and more as AI takes more people's jobs. So disappearing boudoir photographer, it's like the warning light, and like the warning symbol of, if we are disappearing boudoir photographer with BSS, that means our boudoir photography business itself is on the path to disappearing. But thankfully, we discovered the solution. We discovered that BSS is actually treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. And it works exactly like it says, social search saturation. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, so we show up there when people search them. And the way this works, this is kind of like, it's basically like down on the Andes Mountains in South America. Think about the backside, the eastern side. When it snows up there, eventually the snow melts and melts into small streams, small rivers. Eventually all that snow melts, runs out the mountains, flows into the Amazon River. The Amazon River is page one of Google search. That is the Amazon River. And so what's amazing about this is it all starts with the snow up at the top of the Andes Mountains. And so the snow up at the top of the Andes Mountains is S-cubed methodology. That's how we get the snow there. Everything flows downstream from that. And the one thing I like about S-cubed methodology is the only thing I've seen that allows boudoir photographers to successfully, actually have a chance to fight out back against market saturation in a relatively quick time frame. Still have a chance to actually grow the business, even as more boudoir photographers enter the market. The only other thing I've seen that actually enables that is having a large, well-known brand. But those take 5 to 10 years to acquire. We ain't got 5 to 10 years anymore. AI is taking people's jobs. We need to start dominating now. So S-Cube's methodology is the only thing I've seen that allows boudoir photographers to do that. And by my estimates, I believe it actually enables a boudoir photographer to become a large, well-known brand in their area, approximately 8x faster than normal methods, because we're basically showing up on so many different surfaces, so much more frequency, become well-known so much faster. So that's where my approximately 8x estimation comes in. All right, now an example. Let's say, so we're going to say right now, we are in Sacramento, California, and there's 1 million boudoir photographers there total. We're one of them. Everyone's got their website saying they shoot boudoir, and everyone's trying to rank page one on Google. It's like, man, this place is insanely competitive. We don't have time to build a brand. We gotta, basically we gotta start getting a result ASAP, as fast as possible here, AFAP. And so we're like, all right, SQ methodology is the only thing that can help out here. We gotta crank this thing up to the max. So let's say we're able to rank for the first 300 slots, social search for all the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in our city. And let's say that flows over onto Google, or we take the first 300 organic slots, and it's 10 organic slots per page on Google. So we're taking up basically the first 30 pages. And so people don't have to scroll like slot 301 to find any of our competitors, or basically go to page 31 on Google. And so in this scenario, where we're the first 300 slots, basically anywhere searches online, whose boudoir photography business will be growing in this situation? Most likely ours. Whose boudoir photography business will be shrinking / disappearing? Most likely all of our 999,999 competitors, because buyers can't even find them. We're taking up all these slots. So this is an example kind of well, this is the ultra most extreme case of what could happen utilizing SQ methodology, but it's good to understand it. Now, one street with SQ methodology, we have page one visibility. Initial benefit, yeah, we get more slots page one on Google. A lot of boudoir photographers actually like this next initial benefit, which is every new slot we get page one on Google, actually kicking a competing boudoir photographer off page one, effectively making them invisible. Because now they're on page two or deeper, and guess what? We already know approximately 80% of Google searches never ever even hit page two. So a lot of boudoir photographers actually like that. We can control how many of our competitors are invisible. Now, page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us, BSV. This is where we got the GBC Universe recommended minimum, 3 out of 10 slots, page one of Google. That's the number that's recommended because if everyone's got one slot, all right, we're dominating them because we got 3. If everyone, maybe they're ultra rare case, somebody else has 2 slots, the LR3 slots still dominate them. So GBC recommended minimum 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search. And a boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, a VBP. So got our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. It's fine, we now have a solution, S cubed methodology. We achieve page 1 visibility and we become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. All right, now my results utilizing S cubed methodology for myself. I wanted to rank and dominate Google page 1 for this keyword, BLCS boudoir. So I used S cubed methodology. Let's see my results. So let's see, organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. And slot 10, me. Now, I'm from 0 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search, to 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search in only 10 days, purely utilizing S cubed methodology. All right, main event here. Let's see this boudoir photography business, see if they got their local search or their city search, see if they got BSS for either of those. So we're going to East Hampton, Mass. All right. Going up here, East Hampton. All right, so let's see what we got here. Dun, dun, dun. All right, we got 1. Boom, we got 2. Boom, we got 3. And all right, so we got, all right, good. Local, we got 3. Got our recommended, we do not have BSS. We hit the 3 out of 10 recommended minimum. All right, now we're going to Springfield, Mass. Let's see what we're cooking up here. So, all right, we're at 0 out of 10 for our city search. So we got BSS for this one. So let's see. All right, so local search, we ain't got BSS, and we did reach the GBC recommended minimum. 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search. City search, we got 0 out of 10 slots, city search. So yes, we got BSS, and we are not meeting the recommended minimum 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search for the city search. So if you're a boudoir photographer, a disappearing boudoir photographer, which means you've done local search for the highest intent keywords in your local area for that boudoir buyers will be searching, and you've done the highest 10 keywords for your city or close to city for highest 10 keywords boudoir buyers will be buying, and you either have BSS for one or both boudoir search sameness, or you do not meet the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 page 1 slots on Google for either one or both, and you're seeing, you know, you're liking the initial benefits of S-cubed methodology, you decide this is the one path, the one solution forward for you. If you want more slots page 1 on Google, and you definitely want to catch your competitors page 1 on Google, kick them to page 2, where now we know approximately 80% of Google searches never even make it to page 2. So the bulk of the market will never even find your competitors through organic search. And, you know, you want to use that cubed methodology because now you understand that the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief, and Google actually wants to give as many page 1 slots as possible to those who want to put in the effort to take them. And now we realize we got a methodology, a solution to take them with S-cubed methodology. And you understand the market saturation, you know, new phone, new gear, bringing new boudoir photographers in. But you also are looking ahead and you're seeing that, hey, you actually need to fortify your business, and you decide you're going to fortify your business against the future boudoir photographers that come in, not only from the new iPhone and the new camera, but also the much larger share. The larger share is actually going to be more people losing their jobs to AI, and they still got to earn money. They still got to pay their expenses, and everyone's got a great camera attached to their iPhone already. So there's going to be way more boudoir photographers coming into the market because of AI, and you actually want to give yourself, you know, fortification in preparation of those boudoir photographers coming into the market, kind of like the levees in New Orleans. You know, they build up the sandbag levees because New Orleans is actually below sea level. So you actually want to build up that fortification in preparation for the future boudoir photographers entering the market, which is going to be more and more over time. So you already decided you're going to prepare for that, and you realized, hey, paying for Facebook ads ain't doing that. That's on Facebook. Paying for Google ads ain't doing that because that's only one slot on Google. The only option that gives you multiple slots um, is SQ'd methodology for boudoir photographers. And so you realize you need this solution. You want the initial benefits. You want the pre-fortification benefits because you need to achieve page one visibility to become a visible boudoir photographer and have boudoir search visibility because you need those things in order to become the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you also like the back-end benefits as well, which we've not talked about yet, but you actually understand already, which is every day we execute SQ'd methodology correctly, we are actually increasing and building up these invisible thematic keyword columns attached to our business, or spokes, hub and spoke. It's attached into our business name, our brand name, our social accounts. And what this is doing, this is building up massive momentum and mind share in the back end of these AI systems. So every day we successfully execute SQ's methodology together, we're actually increasing the probability you get recommended here, AI overview, premium placement, the one top slot for a search in your city for a boudoir photographer, as well as increasing the probability that regular AI searches actually give you, actually feature you as well, as be ChatGPT search, Claude search, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. Standard Google search still about 90% of searches globally, but dude, AI search is growing every day. I haven't done normal Google search probably in like a year to actually like read and learn stuff from a website. I just do the AI mode on Google. And last time I searched for boudoir photographer was in I remember it gave me 3 options, but I actually went on my own and looked like Google standard search, and there were about 60 options. So dude, AI search can be more and more. SQ'd methodology gives us higher chances of showing up AI overview at the top and all AI search. And you also recognize the final kind of extra benefit of using SQ'd methodology since you decided to be the first mover in your city, you can make all this progress, build up all these initial benefits and the momentum for the future benefits, kind of the invisible AI mindshare for your business ahead of all your competitors, because right now my plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city on this. And so as a result, you actually, every day we successfully execute SQ'd methodology together. We are building up, got initial benefits initially happening very fast, and kind of the long-term benefits, the invisible benefits for AI overview recommendation, AI search recommendation. Every day we're putting a bigger and bigger gap between your current competitors and the future competitors coming from AI stealing people's jobs and people becoming boudoir photographers because they need to earn money. We're building up this momentum where basically no one, when we execute on this, no one's going to be able to catch up to us. Because conversely, if someone else in your city went with me first, you would have to rederive or derive for the first time the correct way to do S-cubed methodology, and you would never actually be confident you've derived the correct way to do it. Never be 100% confident, and then you'd have to go equal our execution with me and your competitor. But we've already been doing it long before you, so we've already built up a massive gap between them and you with all the initial benefits and the future benefits, momentum with AI mindshare. So you'd have to then execute the same amount of us every day. And then if you did that, you'd simply maintain the gap that me and your competitor have already made of us being ahead of you. So you'd have to actually double or triple our execution to pull that AI mindshare, those invisible thematic keyword columns away from the competitor's brand, competitor's name in your same city for the AI mindshare in the back end. Pull that back towards yourself, and like, dude, who's got time for that? I mean, how are you gonna outcompete the person that invented SQ methodology? Me. So you've decided, screw that. You decided, okay, you're gonna be the first mover because you want to be the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. So if that's you, shoot me a DM when my DM's open. The hospital is not currently open for new patients. When I do open up for new patients, I watch these videos. I'll put out a notice, and yeah, shoot a DM then. And we'll see if you qualify for using S cubed methodology.